In a second, I'll show you why we're struggling with chickens on the farm. Why we can't have nice chookies running around. Why we're struggling with the baby chooks. Arr. Oh.
There he goes.
That's why. Hello my dear friends, my name is Steph and welcome to... Oh. Alright, I'm just gonna go shut a gate and then we're going back inside. Welcome to another episode on my channel, and we are going to be talking about 3 ways to make your life infinitely easier. And these are true things that have made my life so much easier. Okay, so let me refer to my notes here. So the other day I met up with a friend, Annie, and Annie used to be a horticulturalist and used to work in nurseries, plant nurseries, and she told me about how she worked for this organic nursery, and they always did things kind of like the old school way, working with nature, and eventually the owner of that nursery wasn't able to make money from all these old school methods because they took longer, and so he decided to kind of take some shortcuts and start to introduce some chemicals and try to include some fertilizers and things like that. And while initially that did work, they found that it didn't work in the long run. The plants were weaker, and the quality of the plants wasn't as good. And another story that I once heard was about trees. There was a project in Sydney where I used to live, Barangaroo I think, and as they were finishing up the construction site and all the landscaping around that area, I think they mentioned that they had especially hardened the trees for those conditions, which is a really windy place just on the foreshore. So what they did was raise trees, and as they were growing, as these baby trees were growing, they would put them up on a really high hill where it was super windy in order to harden those trees up, and so that they would get thrashed around and their trunks would get more solid and they would be used to those conditions, so that when they were planted in the new place, they were able to handle the conditions. And so by doing what I love about those stories is that something that I've discovered for my own life is that sometimes doing the hard yards will result in ease in the long run. And the points that I will be talking about in today's video are going to be along those lines, that if you do the hard yards, you put yourself under pressure, your life actually becomes easier in the long run. Infinitely easier, like it's chalk and cheese easier. It's kind of like apples and oranges, so much easier you can't even compare it. You don't realize how much freaking easier life can be until you get through these challenges, phases of your life, and actually go through this initiation, I guess. So the first thing that I want to talk about is inner work. A lot of the times when our lives get hard, it's because we have so much turmoil in our minds. We're constantly thinking all of these thoughts, and it's just incessant, constantly bombarding us with all these thoughts, and we're suffering internally, suffering in our minds. So it would make sense that we take a look at all that suffering in our minds and go, what is this? How do I change this chaos and turmoil and transform it into inner peace? And this is where doing inner work comes in. Once you do your inner work, once you integrate your shadows, once you learn to unconditionally love every single part of yourself, including the parts that are the hardest to love, that you reject the most, that is when life becomes easier. That is where you become your own best friend. That is where you understand yourself, and with that understanding comes love. And through that love and understanding comes ease. But in order to get to that stage, you're going to have to look at yourself. You're going to have to look at where those things that are brewing in your mind are coming from. And that journey of understanding where they're coming from is going to take you deep into pain and feeling things that you might not want to feel. You might get humbled and realize that you are the problem in certain situations, that you have always been the problem in certain situations, and that you have been creating drama in your life. And then realizing why you might be creating drama and chaos in your life and having all of these things, you're basically facing yourself, and that can be a really challenging thing to do. But once you face yourself, once you understand where all of this is coming from, that understanding leads to so much inner peace and love for yourself and compassion for yourself, that your life just becomes so much easier. You don't fall into the same patterns of suffering anymore, because you're becoming conscious. You're not just running with the narrative in your mind. You're actually stopping to question it and to become conscious of it and to learn from it. And the scariest parts of ourselves, the parts that can cause us the most suffering, are actually some of the greatest teachers that we will ever have in our lives. So that is the first point. And now I'm going to move out of the sun because it is blasting me. So the second thing, I'm just currently at a job right now and the owner is away, so I thought I can do two things at once. Talk to you and do some gardening stuff as well. So the second thing is really about getting into your body, embodiment. Where a lot of us, how does this work? Okay, a lot of us tend to stay in our heads all of our lives, which can also be a sign of nervous system unregulation. And a lot of people don't know, kind of put logic first as well. Like, the mind has so much value in society, and thinking and logic and just being able to think about things. And people forget that the mind and the body are one whole system, and the body has so much wisdom and intelligence. It's where feelings are housed, it's where intuition is housed, it's where sensations are housed. It's the realm of the subtle. So the mind is kind of noisy and loud and analytical, but the body operates more on a subtle realm of feeling and hunches and sensations towards things. And that's the wisdom of the body. So when you're embodied, when you're in your body, why life is easier is because not only do you have the magic of your mind, but you're not just relying on your mind. I'll just wait for the pump to finish. You're not just relying on your mind. You're kind of you're not relying just on your mind, you also have your body to guide you through life. And that's why somatics and body work, embodiment is becoming so popular these days, because everyone, including myself recently, you know, in the last 3 years, has realized that the body has an intelligence of its own, and it's the realm of subtlety, slowness, the feminine energy, and there's a whole different wisdom and magic to it. And this is where when you tune into your body will help you thrive and heal through this subtle realm, and will guide you towards your ultimate truth, what your soul, your body will speak your soul's language and will guide you towards living your ultimate truth, the truth that your soul came here to live. Without the guidance of the body, we might analyze things and we might be subjected to old programming and just, you know, just kind of carry on the way that we've always carried on. But when we're in the realm of the mind, when we're in the realm of the body, it's a whole different story. This is the realm of wisdom, and clarity and guidance. And it's kind of, your body is like this antenna that tunes in to the universe, to the signs that the universe might be sending you as well. And some of you watching might think that that's a bit of a woo-woo thing to say, but once you actually tune into your body, once you understand your body and understand this incredible gift that you've been given, you will realize that it's so much more than what it looks like. There is so much to our bodies, and tuning into the universe, listening to the signs is a real thing, but you won't know until you actually get embodied and understand your body, and that's a journey on its own. It's not easy to do. While I'm here, I'm just going to show you one of the most spectacular views that I get to work at every single week. So this lovely gentleman that owns this property is on a mission to create the most beautiful garden out of nothing. And he's got the best views in this area, so I'll show you in a second. Oh, it's so beautiful up here. Ooh, it's so pretty. Here we go. Are you ready for it? This is where I get to work every week. Just amazing. I love working here. And the last point I'm going to talk about today is being in alignment with who you really are. So we all have a value system, and we're generally the happiest when our lives and everything that we do in our life aligns with our values. When we're out of alignment with our values and what we truly believe in, what we truly desire, that's when life can get really, really hard. That is when we feel like we're pushing shit uphill. A lot of the time we don't know if we can make it through, or life just feels so hard when we're out of alignment with our values, with our desires, with our ultimate soul truth. So in order to make life easier for ourselves, we need to start the decluttering process, the life decluttering process of picking apart the things that don't feel right in your life and replacing it with things that are in alignment with your values and your soul truth. However, it's important to do the inner work first and to become embodied first. Because if you don't, a lot of the time, well, it's suggested that you do. Because a lot of the time, if you don't, what you think your values are might not actually be your truest values or your truest soul truth, and the truth of how you really desire to live your life. For example, when I was younger, before my inner work, I used to think that I wanted the Lamborghini, wanted to be rich and famous, wanted to have the big house. But after I did the inner work, I realized that all of those desires that I thought I wanted and that I was kind of aiming for, those were coming from a place of being conditioned and programmed by society, and places of conditioning by parents and the family that I grew up in, and wounding, because I wanted to be someone because of, and achieve something that people would look up to because of the pain and suffering that I experienced in my past. So when I started doing the inner work and started looking at, why do I want these things? What is going on here? Why do I want the things that society tells me to? Is it my thing, or is it something that society is telling me? Why do I want to be rich and famous? What is the purpose of this? And then when I started deconstructing myself and my personality, behaviors, and actions, I actually realized, you know what? I want to travel in my van for a little while and just get to know myself. That was a value, to really get to know myself. Then I always dreamt of, having a farm, and now that dream of being around animals and having a farm has come to fruition, and now I want to build on that. I still want money, but it's for different things. It's more for building this farm because I need money in order to get the goat herd, to replace the broken fences, to maybe buy this property in the future from my sister. Who knows? But the purpose of me wanting money is different now. And I realized that, and so it's so important for us to align ourselves with what is our soul truth and what our values are. But sometimes we're so confused in regards to what our soul truth is and what our values are, because we have this jumbled mess in our heads from societal conditioning, parental and family conditioning and dynamics, from what else? I got a headache. What? It's so hot, I have a headache. From, I don't know, you get the gist. Can't think right now properly. Yeah, so that's why it's important to do that inner work, get to know yourself, know thyself is so important, so that you can really hone in on what is that true essence of you. What are your values? What are your desires? What is it that is really, really you? And for that, you need to spend time with yourself, getting to know yourself. And once you do that, once you allow that time to do that, life becomes so much more flowy and easier because you are in alignment. What the things that you do in your life are resonating with you more. It feels true for you. You're not trying to fit a mold anymore. You're not trying to be someone that you're not. Because that takes effort. It takes so much effort to be someone that you're not. It takes way less effort to just be yourself. So that is what makes life easier. And with all of the points that I've said in today's video, it's, you know, each one of these points will take hardship, some form of hardship. It's going to be, you know, facing yourself, deconstructing yourself, and really getting to know yourself in order for you to have more flow and ease in your life. But through those challenging, crunchy bits of deconstruction, you're actually making yourself stronger than a lot of people, because a lot of people are too scared to go on this journey. So if you do decide to go on this journey of going through the hardships in order to make your life easier, you're going to be one of the few that are brave enough to do so. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. My plan is to upload videos every week. I know I was a little slack this week, but I got my period and I don't like posting videos when I'm menstruating. I like to rest and be with myself when I'm menstruating, and I'll do another video on that at another stage. If you're interested. If you are interested in that, then let me know in the comment section below. If you are interested in any other topics, if you have any questions for me, any stories, anything that you can relate to that I've been talking about, please comment. Not only do I love reading your comments, it also helps the algorithm as well, and it motivates me to create more videos, because I know that people are watching my videos and enjoying what I'm producing. So I think that's it for me today. I hope you have enjoyed it. Stay wild, and I'll see you in the next video next week. Mwah!